What are the worst investments of all time, and what are some of the lessons that we can learn from them? Let's go ahead and break it down. So I spent some time today texting all my friends, sending tweets, and doing everything in between to find the worst investments that we have ever seen. And I have a really interesting list. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I will say this. If I missed one, let me know in the comments because I really would love to do a part 2. All right, starting at the top, we have WeWork. WeWork was once worth $47 billion. Want to make sure I got that one right. Yeah, $47 billion is what WeWork was worth. Today the company is worth just $8 million. $8 million, and that's it. How did WeWork get in this position? There were several things, but the culture at the time when WeWork was extremely popular, we're talking 2019, 2020, 2021-ish, was just grow at all costs. Okay, we really did not care at that point as the market, didn't care whether or not you were profitable. You could take on as much debt as you wanted as long as we started to see active user growth, right? Think of a company like Uber, which we will talk about a little bit later. They weren't profitable, but they were getting more people, more riders, more users over and over and over and over again. That is what WeWork was good at doing until we hit the pandemic and until rent prices and property prices really started to get thrown out of whack, and their CEO, Adam Neumann, he was weird. There's a documentary about this entire ordeal, but they got rid of him as he walked out the door. I think they gave him like $2 billion, and then shortly after, the company absolutely fell apart, and they are in the process of filing for bankruptcy. There was a Japanese bank, SoftBank, which was known to invest in a lot of tech startups, invested in WeWork too, and lost a ton of money. Now, the interesting thing about WeWork, and it's something we have kind of hinted on in the past, is they were classified as a quote-unquote tech company. They weren't. They were a property manager. That's all it was. They would buy space in certain office buildings and rent that space to other people. I don't think that classifies as tech at all, okay? But due to the era they were in, just grow at all costs, name yourself a tech company, it pretty much became its own company bubble, if you will. Next here is Twitter. It's probably the most known one that you are at least aware of in your consciousness. Not only have we covered it several times on this channel, but as you know, Elon Musk bought the company for $44 billion, around $44 billion, like 43 point something. But he bought it for about $44 billion. Today, it is worth $19 billion. That is a greater than 50% loss. Now, there's a lot of unknown still about this. It is less than 2 years old. There's a lot of things still kind of moving as we speak. He could have tweeted out something crazy as we're doing this video. But what are the lessons here? Number one, just when a business is unprofitable, it is unprofitable for a reason. Before Elon Musk got there, Twitter was not doing all that great. I think they had a handful of profitable quarters, and it's just not a great advertising business. That's not what people use Twitter for. We go there for news, we go there for fun conversations, and that's really it. It just has not, before he got there, when Jack Dorsey was running, the co-founder of Twitter, it wasn't really profitable then. And they hired new CEOs, and it still wasn't profitable. Elon Musk, who at the time was the world's wealthiest man, came in and said, look, I'm going to buy it. And there was a consternation around that, and an argument around whether he was going to acquire it or not. And he ended up buying it and saying, hey, the business plan is free speech. Fired half the people, and it still just has not worked. Now, I could go on and on about how this whole thing has kind of unfolded, but the truth is, it is worth less, okay? A lot less than what he bought it for, and the platform has gotten a lot worse. I think everybody can agree around that, and the moves haven't worked. He took away the verification, made people pay for it. That hasn't worked. Advertisers have continued to leave, and it just hasn't pulled together. We'll see whether he can turn this around or if this is going to continue a steady slide downward for Twitter, aka X. Next here is Lyft. Okay, didn't expect to see Lyft on the list as I was starting to pull these things together, and a part of this is because Uber is doing fine. Uber is doing quite well right now, especially if I'm looking at the stock chart, but Lyft is not doing all that great. They were once worth $21 billion. Today, they're worth just $5. Okay, they're worth just $5 billion, and one of the reasons is this. When we talk about multiple streams of income for individuals, Lyft is not doing that. Uber is. You have Uber as a main product, and then you have Uber Eats, and then Uber is doing some other things on the side. Lyft just has Lyft. And as far as I know, that's it. They are not really diversifying their streams of income and kind of branching out from just delivering people from point A to point B. The problem with that is going into it, when they went public in, was that 2019 or so, both Uber and Lyft went public around the same time, we knew back then it was unprofitable to run the business in the way that they were. Okay, and they just continue to do that, and that's not something that is going to magically fix itself. They haven't gotten around to the automated car service, which is something that was supposed to lead both Uber and Lyft to profitability. That's not something that has occurred. I don't know how things are supposed to end for Lyft. I'm not here to say that they're going to go bankrupt and just get wiped off the face of the earth, but I will say this. I thought this was a Pepsi and Coke situation. They both coexist in the exact same environment and both are fine. I thought this would have been the exact same situation, but that just has not been the case to this point for Lyft. So right now, down to just $5 billion, and we'll see what happens here in the near future. Next on the list is a company that I try not to pick on this company. And no, it's not GameStop, and no, it's not AMC, okay? It's Peloton. Peloton was once worth $46 billion. $46 billion is what Peloton was worth at one point. Now it is just worth $2. That's it. It was worth just $2 billion. Like, when you put this into context, if Elon bought Twitter for 44, he could have bought how many Pelotons at this point, right? Over and over and over again. Like, that's a ridiculous number when you really think about it. We're talking 22 Pelotons. Not the bikes, the entire company, the entire apparatus of Peloton, he could have bought 22 times over, which is absolutely crazy. But the company has absolutely fallen apart. It's not fair, because I think I like the idea of Peloton. It was a luxury bike. It was great for working out. It really built community until the pandemic was over, and then everything just kind of fell apart from there. I don't think they really found a way outside of selling merchandise and using their technology in terms of the workout programs and all that kind of stuff. They have a subscription model there, and subscription models at that point in time, 2021, 2022, were extremely, let's say, popular and important. Everybody wanted to have some sort of subscription service, but it just hasn't worked. Unfortunately, it just has not worked. So we'll see what is going to become of Peloton. At one point, it was rumored that Amazon was going to buy them, because Amazon was buying everybody at one point in time. And then there were rumors around Apple buying them too. I think the Apple route makes more sense, but that may not be true. Right? Remember, early during the pandemic in 2020, there was rumors that Amazon was going to buy AMC. That never happened either. Okay. All right. The one I gotta. This is bad. Okay. So, NFTs. Now, all of NFTs can be classified as the worst investment ever, because 95% of all NFTs are worthless. However, there was one guy who spent $2.9 million on the NFT for the tweet of Jack Dorsey. It was the first tweet ever in the history of life. Now, he bought it for, again, $2.9 million, and he listed it for $48 million, thinking, hey, look, I got this tweet, it's the first tweet ever, I'm going to sell it for $48 million. This NFT sold for a grand total of $4.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
That's it. It sold for less than a double quarter pounder with cheese. That is crazy, okay? That has to be one of the worst investments of all time, because as I look at the rest of these, okay, Twitter is a real company, right? At least it makes some money. It may not be profitable, but it makes some money. It is an object. It is something. NFT of a tweet, I mean, I could say it's worthless, but clearly it's worth $4. But that just did not make any sense at all. You wasted $3 million on a tweet. So that absolutely takes the cake, at least in my book. Now, there are a few other mistakes just from general investors, us regular people who make sane decisions. There are still mistakes that we do make when it comes to stock market. I want to help you to avoid those. If you want to learn about how to avoid just general investing mistakes, then you want to check out this video right here. Also, let me know what mistakes I missed in the comments below. All right, that's it for us. I'll talk to you later.